What's good, T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade Married at First Sight Season 16, Episode 15 review. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken seriously or literally, meaning my Jones or jokes. So if that works for you, let's get into tonight's review. Now, before I begin, though, I got a question for one of my T Squad members. I don't know if I was dreaming this or did this really happen. I was remembering today as I was doing my review and taking my notes that I got a message on Instagram showing that Jasmine got her teeth fixed. Did I dream that, or did one of you guys inbox me that? Because I could swear that was not a dream and that one of you guys sent me a picture saying, look, she got her teeth fixed. Maybe I'm just dreaming it. I don't know. But if it did happen and one of y'all sent it to me, send it to me again, please. Or either I was just dreaming it. But anywho, this week we're going to start off with Jasmine and Aries. So Jasmine admits to Devon Franklin, he comes and is a special guest to talk to the couples, that she hasn't told Aries how she feels. She wants them to connect on all levels. And she's basically spent her whole life not really speaking up for herself and just dealing with things on her own. She says that, when they have conversations, he can go on and on and on about the traumas that he's experienced in life, but she hasn't really experienced anything. So to him, it might just seem like she's not that invested or whatever, but that's not the case. But Devon, how you say his name? Devon, then asks her, what has she gone through? And she talks about being bullied in school for 3 years and how it affected her and her self-esteem and how she didn't tell her parents about it and everything. And she swept it under the rug. And he says to her, you have had trauma. That is a big thing, and he encourages her to open up to Aries and talk to him and say how she feels instead of just sitting there on mute, just waiting for him to take control in the lead. Like, she got to tell him what she wants. It ain't just about what he wants. Okay, he not attracted to you. Okay, well, you're going to have to pick it up, do something in another way. Like, you need to tell him what you want and not just think that he is in control of everything, because he ain't. And the more and more these episodes go by, Aries starting to look more and more like Skeletor by the face child. So Aries then has a one-on-one talk with Devon, and he says that he wants to be attracted to Jasmine, but she can't change the way that she looked, basically. And Devon points out that he really hasn't been trying for real. And he then admits that no, he hasn't been doing as much as he could to get the ball rolling between them. But I mean, love, we figured that out weeks ago. Didn't you have this same conversation with Dr. Pepper or that black man a few weeks ago? Like, I'm just tired of them going with the motions. I just wish they would call it quits at this point. Nicole and Chris are up next, and they sit down and have a conversation where he asks her, like, is there anything that he needs to be working on, that he could do better, because decision day is fast approaching. So she was like, if I ever say that I don't want to be bothered, I just want to be alone, just know that I do want you to come and get me. He was like, what? He was like, I don't know what that means. Like, what? So she was like, if I say I need space, don't give it to me. She was like, in my past, anything I've gotten emotional about, I've almost got pushed to the side for it. I literally had a guy say to me, I'm not here for your baggage, so figure it out and come back to me. So when I get upset, automatically I'm going to think that you're tired of me. I need more validation and reassurance, because she doesn't know if he'll leave her or not. Like, she's still very unsure about him wanting to be with her. And that plays very much into her own self-esteem issues, because I'm pretty sure that man has been showing her the most out of any of the couples, that he's here to stay. Like, he cares for her, but that was a ridiculous thing to say. If I say I need space, don't give it to me. How about you just say what it is instead of trying to play that whole come chase me game? Like, people can't read your mind. If you're upset about something, simply say what it is so we can deal with it and talk about it. Like, ain't nobody got time to be playing chasing games with you, girl. Grow up. Shaquille and Kristen are up next, and we see Kirsten, my bad, call his mom to ask for advice on how she can be there for him. And Shaquille's mama literally tells her, like, you need to be more supportive. Like, he's really hurt by the fact that you didn't join him on his business trip. And he's really under a lot of pressure and he needs you. And so Kirsten was just like, you know, I'm trying to be there for him and everything. And the mama was basically just like, girl, you got to step it up because my son ain't happy. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. After that, I fell asleep. So I don't know what the hell happened after that. With those two talking to Devon or Clint and Gina talking to Devon. All I know is I woke up at the point where the couples all got together for a group date. I swear at this point on Wednesday nights, child, my body was just like, it's time for us to take a nap because this show is just boring. I'm just keeping it a buck. But I'm going to trudge on through and finish this. So the couples gathered, like I said, and Jasmine admits to breaking down with the girls when they had their girls' night out, and Eric's just sitting there looking stuck on stupid as always. And Nicole, who thinks that she's one of the therapists, encourages them to talk more. Shaquille then admits to being, you know, suicidal at one point because Clint had brought up how, you know, you have to take mental health and people, you know, crying out for help seriously. And so, you know, he said that at one point in his life, you know, he was dealing with those same emotions and feelings and stuff. And, you know, it was very shocking to hear him say that. And Kirsten, you know, was rubbing his leg or whatever, just sitting there kind of, you know, just listening, but Willie wasn't saying anything. So Nicole was like, you know, we're here for you and you have an amazing wife who wants to be there for you every chance she gets. So please utilize her as a resource. You know, I'm sorry, I'm speaking for you, Kirsten, but I know that is the truth. So Kirsten is like, yeah, sure. It's like, girl, you supposed to follow up with that, like, yes, love, like, I'm so sorry you went through that, you know, blah, 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 blah. But she just sitting there. I think that she's one of them people very much like myself that maybe don't know how to deal with people and their emotions right there in the moment, you know what I'm saying? Maybe she needs a second to gather herself. Like, I don't deal well with people crying in front of me. Like, that's weird. And like, I'll probably just start laughing. Like, it's not to be rude or anything, but it's just like, what is happening here? Why is this happening? Oh my God. Oh Lord, this is serious. So maybe she's one of those people, or maybe she just dead inside. Who knows, child, with this lady. So Shaquille gets upset and storms out. And so she follows him and everybody just kind of looking like, okay, what's going on? So they standing outside and Kirsten is like, what's wrong with you? And he was like, basically, I was just pouring my heart out and you were just sitting there like another woman, another wife had to speak on your behalf and you ain't had nothing to say. So Kirsten was like, you know, I'm always there for you. And Shaq was like, you know, when I need you to be there, it's kind of like, okay. He was like, I need you to be there. It's not a want anymore. It's a need. And so in his confessional, he was like, you know, when I was in Memphis, I found out that I wasn't going to be graduating on time and I really needed my wife there. So now we learning even more over the past 2 episodes why this trip meant so much to him and why he's still holding on to that. So Kirsten was like, I mean, but you can still call me if I'm not there with you. When he was like, if it's just a phone call, we gonna hang up and go our separate ways. So she promises to be there and hugs him and he gives her a kiss and they're patched up enough to be able to go back inside and be with the group. I didn't like the way he stormed out. Like, dude, like, we're not 5. Like, that was a toddler move. Like, it was embarrassing. You did too much. You could have handled that when we got home and, you know, talk to me about it. But like, storming off in front of everybody, like, ooh, like, come on now, bro. Like, come on, please, 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 please. Can we be adults? Can we be adults? And I can tell that Kirsten is low-key kind of like annoyed by him continuously saying, I need you to support me. I need you to support me. Because she feel like she's being supportive. But then that beckons back to when she was saying, I need you to spend more time with me. I need you to spend more time with me. And he was looking like, girl, I'm spending time with you. What more do you want? So go back inside and they all sit down and the topic of sex comes up and Kirsten tries to pretend like they haven't. She said they gotten to second base, almost to third. But then the conversation of being assertive pops up and Shaquille was like, okay, well, we consummated our marriage. And everybody cheers and high fives and everything. And you could tell he was just a proud old man. He finally got the drugs. So everybody is, in a good mood. They then decide to go line dancing. Everybody's having a good time. The couples are dancing with one another, but then we see Eris dancing with the instructor and not Jasmine. She's just kind of standing there off to the side, but Clint was standing there too. So I don't know if, he and, what's her name? Gina had just got done dancing or what. But she got mad and was like, I'm done. I'm done with this. She storms out. One of the producers is following her. And Eris comes outside and was like, you know what? I was wrong. I see the optics of it, how it looks bad and everything, considering where we are in our relationship. And he apologizes and they leave and go home. So the next day, they both sit down with Dr. Pepper. And he says once again that he was wrong, but her storming out made the situation bigger than what it was. I feel like her storm out was different from Shaquille's because we all have seen what their relationship has been like. And she has put up with a lot when it comes to him, but I still feel like she need to open her mouth and be like, nigga, you lost your dang on mind. Like, excuse you. Like, I feel like if she started talking to him like that, baby, she'll see a whole other side of him. But she's just not that person. She's just not built that way. So Dr. Pepper asks, do they want to even continue on with this process? Because even she like, y'all don't want to be with each other. But he says that he does because when they're dating each other, it's like the best moments that they've had with one another. And she just sitting there cheesing once again, giving herself false hope because this ain't going no dang on where. And I just wish they would just break up already. Then see Nicole and Kirsten go lingerie shopping, and Nicole is talking about her body image issues and how she doesn't really do the lingerie thing. But Kirsten really hypes her up and tells her, how to be sexy and stuff like that. And when she came out in the lingerie, she looked so pretty. She looked good. She has a really great shape. Like, I don't know why she beats herself up, but that's something she got to deal with. Dr. Pepper sits down with Clint and Gina and encourages them to watch like a romantic movie together. But her suggestions was Driving Miss Daisy and then some movie about a man being in love with his dog. I said, you know what, Dr. Pepper? It's time for you to go home and go to sleep. It's time for you to go home and take a nap because you done lost your dang on mind. Like, what are you talking about? Devon then sits down with Shaquille and Kirsten, and Shaquille says that he doesn't feel supported by her in their marriage. And she looked shocked by this when he said it. He explains that support for him is for her to be invested in who he is. Like, he wants her to see what he does for a living and for her to really get to know him on that level. And Kirsten was like, I feel like I am there for you. Devon, she then goes to describe ways in which she has been there for him. And Shaquille basically like negates what she said. So Devon was like, you can't subscribe how she shows you support. It's almost like you're diminishing her efforts. And I agree, because people show support in different ways. You have to verbalize what it is that you need from a person. So if she doesn't know how to provide you with what you want. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like Kirsten is very aloof. I really honestly do. And I think that she's more self-absorbed and more about what she wants than what he wants. And at the end of the episode, I think the couples, did they sit down with Dr. Pepper or that black man? I think it was Dr. Pepper or the black man. I don't remember, child. I was halfway asleep. But it is Nicole and Chris, and she explains how she's scared because he didn't initially pick her. And the doctor's like, girl, he picked you because at the altar he chose to marry you. So what the heck is you talking about? Like, she getting on my nerves with all these nitpicking things. Like, girl, seek a counselor and be quiet. So Chris tells her that he's in this, he ain't going nowhere, and that he loves her. And she was like, oh my God, and I love you too. So now they are telling each other they love each other. And I think that they're going to stand a really good chance. She just got to get herself together. And he got to, you know, get a little bit more bass in his voice. Other than that, that's the end of this review for Married at First Sight. I'm going to give tonight's episode a C-. A C-. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it down below in the comment section, you guys. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell button. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.